This will be a short video just showing how we set up a little pig pen. These are hog panels. They're 16 foot long, somewhere around 32 inches tall. You can see there's smaller gaps at the bottom than there is the top, so this makes good work for the piglets. But this is how we train them to a hot wire. That's poly wire there on the bottom, running around the inside. And this is just a 16 by 16, mostly square pen. We've got posts. I had to put 2 posts there on that side because I kept running into rocks. But everywhere else, there's just 1 post on each side. And we got a little solar charger over there. That is a 0.06 joules. It won't really hurt them. Probably feel more like a little bug bite to them, and they'll get into it, but they have learned very quickly to back off of it. So if they're spooky, they'll still pile in there and still get shocked at them. If you had a real high joule charger, something like a 6 or a 12, it would probably fry whichever one's getting put into it and probably kill it. So I would recommend a lighter charged one for the initial testing of it. And they still can't get out because they're not going to be able to. As small as they are, they weigh 15 pounds a piece. They ain't going to be able to dig out from under it. And we actually do this. We've done this for the big pigs whenever we had them out on pasture. We just have them in this actual pig pen setup. And we did it like this with no poly wire for the first, well, probably the first couple months of their life until they got to about 100 pounds. And when a pig gets to about 100 pounds, it's got a lot of lift to it. And they found out they could get their nose underneath the pig panels and flip it up, and they just go right out from underneath it at that point. So you can still raise pigs mobile. It's a cheap mobile pen, or you can make it stationary like this. But and just keep a good fence charger on it. For bigger pigs, bigger fence charger. And that little one right there, it's a Patriot, I think's what it is. And as small as it is, it was awful expensive. But you want the biggest charger you can afford to buy if you're only going to have one of them. And I recommend at least 6 joules for it. But for if you're keeping in big pigs, but for smaller piglets like this, they do just fine. Let's go wait and see if it'd be brave enough to touch it. But these are Duroc crosses with a boar of ours. I'm not real sure what the boar is. I was told he was Cooney Coon and American Guinea Hog, but I think he's American Guinea Hog and Poland China, because he weighs well over 300 pounds, and I know that's not a Cooney Coon. But a couple of them's got wattles on them. Yeah, that little white one right there up front, he's double wattled. That's a little boar. They are the cutest little things. I love that red and white. If I could breed for it, I'd have just, one of them got into it, I'd have just the red and white ones. But they're both boars. If they would have been females, I would have held them back. But if I hold any of these back, I'm going to end up eating it in the spring. Here's how we do it. And you're talking, you can buy a cheap little charger. Yeah, I think I paid $150, $200 for the one I got, but you can buy one for $100 from your Tractor Supply or Rural King or whatever. And then you got another $100 probably in panels. We keep these panels, we're real sophisticated here. That one's held together with some rope, but we usually do just a little bit of electric fence wire. And then this shows how we hold the poly wire on it. I'll show you better on this one here. That is a Dollar Tree string. You get 30 foot of it for, used to be $1, now it's probably $1.30. And these are Dollar Tree carabiners. You can see that one's falling apart. But as the pigs grow, you can unhook that and move it up as their noses change heights. But for, since they're small, we got it down there a couple inches off the ground. But you know, for what I'm getting at is $300. You can do a sorry for the video, doing this all on a phone and I'm the only one holding it. But for about $300, you can get a perfectly respectable panel that will hold the pigs. And if you want to hold bigger pigs, then there, one of them just got bit. But you can hold bigger pigs too. Just put more, I'd go ahead and put more T-posts around it, and then do the Joel Salatin deep litter method. You know, we're going to be putting some leaves in this one, let the pigs wear them down. But it's kind of that time of the year. You could also do grass clippings if it's summertime, and if you got access to wood chips, go ahead and get a bunch of them, pile them in here. You know, a pig, you could put a foot of stuff in here, hay, straw, whatever else too. You could put a foot of stuff in here, and the pigs wear it down 6 months until they're time for freezer camp. Put them in freezer camp, and then take all that bedding that they've used, what would industrial wise be considered a waste product, and build your garden beds and stuff out of that, or put it on your pastures or whatever. You know, you can even put it in a chicken coop and let the chickens scratch through it and add nitrogen to it throughout the winter time, and then use it on your garden beds. And what's, you know, everybody else would consider a waste product, all of a sudden you've added a bunch of nutrients to it through the pigs and through the chickens, and you don't have to buy any fertilizer next year for your garden. So a couple $100, several $100, get you started, and then that'll keep you going almost indefinitely. It's all metal. The charger will go bad, pretty much nothing else will. So all right, well, goodbye from the Handy Homestead. Thank you. Bye.